Gonna keep that bud. Rubber side down.
You're right there, ladies and gents. How is it going? You find me currently over at P&H Motorcycles, and I'm about to test ride this, which is the MT-07. I'm also taking out a demo on the GSX8S, and hopefully later on today I'm popping down to another bike shop to try out another couple of motorcycles. But anyway, this is the MT-07. I'm not a huge fan of the turquoise, but yeah, nice upright motorcycle, but it should be fun. Yeah, be interesting. But anyway, right, let's go and have a little play. I have to confess that the main bike I'm interested in is the 8S rather than this, but it doesn't hurt to have some comparisons. Oh, I know I'm going to like the riding position on this, that's for sure. Oh yeah, it pulls away nice. So this isn't a review of these bikes, it's just so I can get my head around whether I like them or not for me as a personal purchase. Yeah, so I never review bikes for other people, I always review them for myself, but I don't have them for very, very long this time, not like I've had with the Aprilia bikes in the past and Motoguzzis when I've borrowed them. Yeah, it's just me getting my head around whether I like a bike or not. Yeah, the engine on this I'm really liking around town at town speeds. It's been cracking. Instantaneous torque and really smooth throttling. I mean, which is good because I don't know if you can see what's going on there. The throttle rattles from side to side. It oscillates. Yeah, and I really I dislike that a lot. Yeah. That's the only thing I don't like so far after 5 minutes of sitting on the seat. Talking of the seat's very comfy, and I can get 1 foot flat-footed down without sliding off the saddle. 2 feet I can get sort of tiptoes, but good tiptoes, not bad tiptoes like on my Aprilia. But yeah, riding position is nice. Bars are very ergonomic for my arm length, which is cool, and the feet are where feet should be. Right, now we're out of town, let's give this thing a go. I can't change gear very well on the quick shifter. Yeah, it wasn't letting me change up, but let me do it there. So quick shifter's not working very well. I'm sure that's just a glitch in the matrix, but yeah, not working very well. Yeah, I'm not sold on the quick shifter on this. I don't know what's up with it. Might be just me. I'm not very used to them, so I'm sure it's just me. I like the handling on this. I really do like the handling on this. It's very light. It feels almost 125-esque. I mean, it's not a 125, that's for sure. It's only got more poke than a 125, but it reminds me of my little KTM 390 Duke. A slight disconnect feeling on the handlebars though. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. But it's nice. See, this is the sort of road that I like riding. So if a motorbike works along a road like this, then a motorbike works for me. Engine feels good. Engine does feel good. I don't know whether it would run out of steam. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I quite like a bike that hoiks its front wheel up if you give it a little bit of revs, you know. That's what I'd like. It's really weird, the turning on this, all the slow speed stuff, but it almost feels like you're actually turning the way you're going, so like you're riding it like a quad. I don't know why, because that's not how bikes work. You counter steer to make them go, but it seems to almost not counter steer until a higher speed. I don't know, there's in my head, that's in my head, I'm sure of it, but it's a strange feeling. Kind of reminds me of the old Ducati M600 Monsters from back in the 90s. Yeah, they had kind of a disconnect from what the wheel was doing a little bit. It's not scary, so don't get me wrong, it's not making me concerned about the handling or anything like that. It's just a weird bit quirk, a peculiarity that I guess you just get used to on a motorcycle. Certainly off the line it has got loads of grunt. Yes, I like that. For a mid-size, that's quite a chunk of grunt. Let's find out what it's like at a little bit of speed. Not that you would have seen any of that, but it certainly goes fast enough for me. Certainly goes fast enough for me. And even though you're completely out in the open here, it's very clean air. So yeah, it's nothing horrible. Nothing horrible. It was quite pleasant actually. Tanking along, all upright still. Yeah, quite comfortable at speed and on the country road and around town. Yeah, ergonomically brilliant. Weird handlebars for steering, but only at slow speed. Absolutely fine when you're going along. It's quite intuitive how it feels once you're actually going along. Only issue is the quick shifter. It works fine going down the box apparently, but not up it, which is very weird. Right, well now for the 8S, the Suzuki GSX8S. This is a bike I very much wanted to try for a while, for the channel mainly, because it's quite an exciting new motorcycle. But it's nice to actually be in the market for something like this. I think it's got the same seat height as the MT-07, I think. I might be wrong on that. But there's a lot of play on that lever. Don't think it needs that much play. Alright, so initial thoughts on this then. It feels more motorcycle-like. It definitely feels more motorcycle-like. The other one, more bunny rabbit. And that's not an insult. It's not an insult. It's just not a very good way of describing it. Yes, the bars on the other one made you feel like you were riding a bunny rabbit. Maybe a hare, because they're faster, aren't they? So I don't mean to be mean to the bike, but yes, that felt more like a bunny rabbit. This feels more like a motorbike. The saddle's comfortable. It's very narrow. I like that it's narrow. It feels a little bit narrower than the MT-7. The initial torque on the MT-07 is harder hitting than this, but then this is actually stronger and more urgent in what it's doing. This is faster and probably got more torque, but the other one just picks up just that moment sooner. And it might be just the clutch, because that's got half of its lever is just play there, which isn't right. But the quick shifter on this works. Yeah, it's fine. Awesome. Suspension feels a little bit more robust on this, which is nice to have. I haven't looked at whether it's got adjustment on it. Probably not a lot. And when you haven't got a lot of adjustment, you want it to be right. You want it to be right, don't you? I remember when the KTM Duke 790 came out, and everyone was kicking off scalpel, yeah right, because it didn't even have adjustable suspension. We thought we were being cheated, all without having actually even ridden the motorcycle. So yes, I'm not doing that this time. You don't need adjustable suspension if it's adjusted correctly out the box. Science, that is, science. And it makes it cheaper. Why have adjustable suspension if you don't need to adjust it? I know we're not all the same shape and sizes, so having a little bit of flexibility in the settings is good. But yeah, you don't need a lot of adjustment on a road bike. And if you're going on track, being a track day monster, then you can upgrade your suspension, can't you? Get yourself some Olins or K-Tech internals or something like that. Ooh yeah, this is definitely a faster motorcycle, and it feels through the twisties here. I think through the twisties here I will feel more at home on this, and the bars don't have that weird non-counter steering feeling. Now I know there was some great big dump trucks and stuff in the road along here on the last lap I did, so very mindful that it could still be there. It's a good little road this, and a good test of a motorcycle for what I want to use it for, as I've said, on the MT-07. The MT-07 did absolutely fine and dandy along here, but I think I'd want something a little bit more oomphy. The flip-flop on this is definitely more flip-floppy. My technical words are amazing. Yeah, this is super nimble. Oh, do I compare this to the Tuono 660? Do I dare? The Tuono 660's got a lot more power than this. A lot more power than this. But this has got what feels like a little bit more chug out the corners. And it's definitely got a wind on along here. I'd say along this road here, this is faster than the Tuono, I would say. I might be wrong, I'm often wrong. But I definitely feel more at home on this. It's far more accessible to me. The ground is nearer for a start. The reach to the bars is more natural for me. The engine is like, oh yeah, the engine is definitely an oh yeah engine. Horsepower ain't everything. I said that on my track day on the V7. Who needs horsepower? And you don't, you just need a good tractable engine. Good tractable engine. This is a nice engine. A bit buzzy through the foot pegs. Whereas the MT-07, that had rubber mounted foot pegs, or rubber on the foot pegs, which obviously masks any vibes a little bit more. Whereas you don't get that on the Gixxer. It's not a Gixxer, it's a Gixxer. It's a GSX. It's a GSX8S. Okay, right, well we're just about at the end of the twiddles, and there's a car in the middle of the road, of course. Yeah, this definitely does those slow speed things in a nicer feeling way. You know, there was nothing wrong with how the MT-07 went round that roundabout earlier, but this just feels nicer, more planted. I don't know, it's maybe it's because it's got more bunny rabbit bars on that. I don't know, but it was strange, and this isn't. Oh, there's thoughts going around my head. I think I prefer this to the Tuono, and that was kind of the benchmark, because obviously I'd rather buy from Brighton Moto, having bought 3 bikes from them recently and know they very well look after me properly, but they don't sell all the motorcycles, unfortunately. Yes, this one is definitely food for thought. The riding position on this is more forward, it is more sporty. It's not crouched, it's not crunched up on my knees or ankles or anything like that, but the pegs are slightly higher, which bodes well for cornering. The bars are a little bit further away than they are on the MT-07, but it's not a stretch. It's not like me jumping on a Ducati, because they are quite long, them V-twins, they are quite long. Definitely feels far nicer quality than the SV650 that I've sat on, although I've not ridden one yet to know what they're like to ride. I still very much would. Easy peasy to get a foot down on this. I am a little bit off the saddle, I guess. Not a lot. Skinny enough to fit through the cars. Not fast enough to beat the traffic lights though. Right then, let's see what it's like on here. Well, I definitely can't show you what happened there. But this thing's a little bit faster, or certainly feels faster. Admittedly, I didn't pin the other bike, I didn't pin it. This one I did. The other one had less miles on the clock than this does. I don't want to say it, but I think this is better than my old street triple, my 765R. Admittedly, that had a little handicap on it. It was the low version of it, so it didn't handle as well as the proper Daddy-O one. But yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. I still want to try out the Suzuki GSX1000, this bike's bigger brother, just to see if that scratches the itch. Yeah, my concern with the GSXS1000 is that it's an inline 4 and it's 1,000, which means it's going to be incredibly awesome, but it's all going to be a top end. Yeah, I mean, of course it's going to have oodles of torque, but it's going to be torque up at the top, whereas this is all bottom and mid-range, and that's sort of what I want. That's why I was looking at the SV650s. Yeah, thoughts need to be thought. Alright, let's give this lovely motorcycle back to P&H. Back to P&H before I keep it. And it is a lovely, lovely motorcycle. Be interesting to see how you can configure the dashboard, because I've not done any of that stuff. But yeah, right, let's get this up here for them. Stand on this is easier to get down than it was on the MT-07. But yes, I like that it's got a plastic tank, so you kind of don't really even need a tank protector on it, which means I can go back to wearing my bomber jacket again, although I probably would put a tank protector on that if it was my bike. Wow, that's a bike. That is a bike. Time to have some talks with P&H, I guess, and see availability on the blue one, because the blue one's prettier, much prettier. Find out what servicing costs are like and stuff. But yeah, I think it's probably going to be this one. I would really like to get a demo on the GSXS1000 still though, just to be sure. Right, mega thanks to P&H. They found me a demo of the GSXS1000. Yes, they had it tucked away in a corner. So yes, we get a demo on this one, which is good because that answers the question of whether this is what I want or not what I want. I think they've all got similar seat heights, although this one does feel a little bit taller. I can see what people are saying about the dashboard on this being very, very dark. I like that. It's a bit more subtle. So when I've got the camera going, there's less potential of incrimination. It's a wonky donkey. I kind of don't want to like this. Definitely feels more weighty on the bars. Getting a foot down's easy. I kind of like the old schoolness of that dash. Okay, so let's hit some twisties. Timed this run badly. Darn it. All the twisties ruined. I'm quite glad to say I don't like the riding position as much. Don't like it as much at all. Feels a little bit tiring on my right wrist. Buzzy through the pegs. I mean the 8S was buzzy through the pegs as well, but that was comfy. That was comfy in all aspects. All aspects. This is fast. This is fast. Easy to get the stand down on this. It's a cracking motorcycle. It is a cracking motorcycle, that. Yeah. I like. I don't not like. But that I think suits my needs better. I didn't come here to make a decision. I came here just to try a few bikes out. Right, let's go into P&H and try not to hand over any money. Yes, thanks P&H. You've just cost me some money, I think. Yeah, so I did very much like all of the bikes, but it won't be a little bunny rabbit MT-07 for me. A very cute little motorcycle, but it doesn't fill the agenda I want from a motorbike. The GSXS1000, phenomenal motorcycle, 150 horsepower, loads of torque, quite comfortable in most respects, but it didn't quite fit me as nicely, I don't think, as the GSX8S. So many letters in these names, it's a bit silly. Why don't they just call them something like the Honda do, the Hornet? So taking demos for me, or doing bike test rides and stuff like that, is always risky business because I always end up loving the motorcycle. Thankfully, on this occasion, I was actually looking to buy something. Anyways, okay, so this video, which was for me rather than for you, but it's still going to be for you because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm sharing, caring lover. I'm a sharing, caring lover. Anyway, if you haven't done so already, click the subscribe button. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. If you like the bike I'm getting, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the bike I'm getting, give it a thumbs down. I don't care. I'm getting a motorbike. Anyway, you ride safe, take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye for now.
And keep that bar from the sun down. You know, you gotta keep that body rubber side down.